Kind of the boring stuff. These are your keys.
Okay.
You got the key for the barn, the door we just walked in, and the padlock.
Okay.
So whenever you leave, you can just lock up.
Okay.
Take these with, let yourself back in.
Okay.
Come and go as you please. When you leave in the morning, you don't tell anyone. Just lock everything up and you leave those sitting here or in the barn. And
Okay.
I'll find them wherever.
Awesome.
A lot of people have been getting locked out. The last group was 10 cops from Minnesota. And I showed them. It's like, door's locked. You can't get in. Door's locked. Like how a door lock works.
Yeah, right.
They go, yeah, we get it. Within 20 minutes, I got the phone call. They said that they were loading their gear in, left the key in, the door wide open, the door slammed shut and was locked from the inside.
That's not an accident.
No, and I won't be home tonight, so
Okay. Make
keep
sure
those.
to stay on you.
That would be
Yeah.
a big bummer. If you get any touristy people, sometimes they take pictures out front. If you get a knocker, you can just ignore them or charge them $20. Give
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
their own tour, take the cash,
Yeah.
whatever. Also, the deputy on the corner is like, tell everyone if they need the cops, 911. We're at the Axe House. Some weirdo won't leave. He'll come down.
Okay. Cool.
So that's the boring stuff.
Yeah.
You guys all familiar with the history?
Yes.
Kind of. We've done a lot of
I read on the
research.
website.
If you want to sit down in here, I'll kind of go over it for you real quick, just to get you primed up.
That's so cool.
So, June 9th, 1912, they have the church service. The Moores come home with Ina and Lena Stillinger, and they weren't neighbors, they lived like 10 miles out that way.
Oh.
Next day, Mary Peckham's over here doing her laundry at 4 in the morning. By 8:30, she's like, something's wrong. So she gets Ross Moore to use his key on that door. He walks into this room. This is where Ina and Lena were. The authorities go upstairs, find the Moores. So you got 8 total, 6 kids, 2 adults. The axe is left right down here. Half-eaten food at the table, mirrors covered with sheets, bloody water, cigarette butts, footprints. Tons of crime scene, destroyed by half the town. Detective from Kansas City was drunk when he showed up. So that's where that starts.
Oh, great.
They questioned people for 5 years. Finally, in 1918, Reverend Kelly confesses. He said voices told him to kill. Ended up across the street, said a shadow came out of the backyard, handed him the axe. Walked in that door at one morning, voices said, slay utterly. He said he killed everyone. Then he said he didn't. Then he said he worked for the Queen of England. So, tried him for the death of Lena, hung jury. Tried him for the death of Ina, full acquittal. We have no idea. So in 94, the town was going to bulldoze this. Darwin Lynn bought it because he owned the museum and he thought it'd be cool to do like school tours for the kids in town.
Yeah, they used to.
Yeah.
Stan used to come here.
Yeah.
A year before I was that age.
Yeah.
4 years.
So shortly after that, people asked to stay all night. And he goes, why on earth would anyone want to do that? And they go, paranormal investigating. He goes, what in the world's a paranormal? I mean, really wasn't on this guy's radar. He told me, he said yes because it's more fun to say yes. That was his reasoning. So when I came 15 years ago, the first month Travel Channel did a top 10 most terrifying places, put it number 1. Here comes Paranormal State, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Lab, Dead Files, Kindred Spirits, the movie Sinister. I think there's been like 40-some shows
Every show
at
over
this
the
point.
It's in that, yes.
It's just everywhere, which is awesome because like right when I started, the shows started, and I love the shows, so it's just like one-on-one for a week with these guys, you know, with no interruptions. Like wake up in the morning, oh, I'm gonna hang out with Nick, Zach, and Aaron all day again. You know, it's like this is awesome.
Yeah.
So I would always invite them to my house, because back then it didn't have air conditioners. It was like, dude, you don't need to sit here and sweat all day. Like, go sit in my house and watch TV, grab a beer, pop, whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like how I started working with Nick. And
Now you're one of those guys.
yeah, and it's just like, and another thing that was weird, Ghost Lab's here. And so the crew's out there, and I always thought the crew was just fascinating to watch. And there's this kid, like the only one that would talk to me was this kid rolling cables, the production assistant, which is like the peon of the group. But I still thought he had an awesome job, you know? So I'm just like making buddies with this guy. So when Kindred Spirits comes, that same guy is now the director for Kindred Spirits. He'd worked his way up through the years. The sound guy was the old producer for Ghost Hunters. One of the camera guys worked for Ghost Adventures, so it's like, hey.
I know you.
Yeah, so it's just like, worked out perfect. I'll give you a walk through. Seems like these two rooms are almost safe zones.
Okay.
This one's good, but 90% of everything's upstairs for sure.
Oh my gosh. 2 pennies? If you find 3 pennies in a dirt,
Feel
I
free
mean,
to
if
check air conditioners
you
down
find another
off,
penny,
whatever's comfy. Ina and Lena's room. It is actually Catherine's room, but Ina and Lena were the ones staying in it. Our lovely dolls are throughout the house. This one's actually from Malvern Manor.
Okay.
So me and Josh will swap weird dolls with each other to see if there's any like cross contamination. Like if there's anything from Malvern stuck to this doll. What if you get something from Malvern while it's sitting here, you know? Just weird experiments. So if you want to carry this or like sleep with it tonight, snuggled up with it.
Yes.
Too bad we're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh, and the cloth covering off the mirror.
Yeah.
So cool.
And all the rules on the website, forget about. Sit in the bed, sit in the chairs, play the piano, go through the dressers. It's your house
Okay.
for the night.
Sweet.
Do whatever you want. Parlor room again. Family photos on the wall. Kitchen. Really never had anything happen in this room. And of course, this is what it looked like when Darwin bought it in '94. They tried to jazz it up a little with some siding, and still nobody even, like, it was so bad. Nobody wanted this house so bad that they finally just put it up for bids.
Give us a buck for it.
Yeah, and Darwin put a bid on it, and he said he felt embarrassed because it was way lower than what they were asking to sell it. And 6 months later, they're like, yep, you got it. No one else even bid on it.
Wow.
Yeah. I have no idea what he paid, but I know it probably wasn't much.
Yeah. I remember driving by this when I was a kid, and it wasn't, you know, there was no sign out front.
Yeah.
You just knew that's the place.
Yeah, it probably had the green siding.
Yeah. Probably about 94. My grandma lived right over by the elevator there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Parents' bed. The dad was here, the mom was there. Mirrors covered again. This is one of the big axe marks left in the wall. That was all wallpapered over. Wallpaper with paint on the wallpaper.
Wow.
But Darwin tore it off to the original walls and seen that and checked with the coroner report, and
That's it.
that's one of them. So he's hitting them with a blunt end. So the blade's coming back, cutting into the walls, ceiling. There's a big pool of blood where you're standing. So they
Feel awesome now.
They think he was hiding in the attic, crept out, just delivered 1 or 2 blows, walked over there and heard something, because then it's like he just froze while the blood's dripping off, and then probably got these kids. The 2 downstairs came back multiple times. But
Wow.
attic is totally safe. There's nails through the ceiling, so don't impale yourself.
Okay.
That's where a lot of the
Kendall, hear that?
weird
Probably will.
stuff, bad stuff kind of centers out of there. I got the kids' room where Herman, Paul, Boyd, and Catherine are all found. This is the door I kicked right there, which
Yeah.
split that.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So like after a month, you kind of start going, did that really happen? Like, come on. But every time I see that, I'm like, yep, that happened.
So you were in that closet.
I was in there, in that gap under, there's a street light over there, so you can kind of see a little light. I was just in the back watching, and somebody walked from here towards there, and that's when I kicked the door, hoping to hit them. They'd go down on the bed, and
Get the F scared out of them.
there was nothing in here at all.
My question is, how do you whack people in the head and nobody wakes up?
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
that's,
people killed, and
you know, it's
nothing.
like a lot of them laying next to each other even, or
Yeah.
they're pretty
Yeah.
close, you know?
And
How do you
Kelly,
kill this one and not wake up that one?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the train going at that time and the noise maybe?
That's one theory.
And Kelly, the weird minister, said he walked past the parents into this room, citing the Bible verse that you must be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. He thought that meant kill kids, evidently.
Yeah, that's
said
what
he-
the Bible says.
He said he killed these kids, then killed the parents, then went downstairs and wanted to take a nap and came upon Ina and Lena, which moms have a radar. There's no
Oh,
way
yeah.
he walked past those 2 and killed Nah.
Well, even like you, just just step to the side, you can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little vibration would wake or would
Oh,
disturb
yes.
somebody. You'd think.
You guys will see tonight. You can hear a pin drop in this place. It's just dead silent. But I'd say 90% of everything that happens, this whole upstairs. Anytime I would investigate, I'd just plop down on that bed and
Hang out.
there I was.
Say,
Oh, yeah, this had a bunch of wallpaper on we tore off.
Was
And
that a mark?
Can't say 100%, but
more
it
than
was under the
likely.
wallpaper, and it sure looks like an axe mark.
Yeah, it does. So you can feel it up here.
Yeah. I always tell people if nothing happens, like if nothing's happening and you're trying everything, the one constant I've always seen work is have everybody go out to the barn and pick one person to come sit in the house by themselves
I'll do it.
in a chair with a back facing the attic. And like, I don't care who you are, it's scary as can be to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it feeds on that fear every
Well,
time.
I vote Billy.
Whenever I do it with groups
I'll
of my
do it.
buddies, it was just the dumb guy, like, dude, dare you to go sit in the house.
Alright, I'll fucking do it.
And then,
2
yes,
minutes later, it's like, dude.
yes, every time stuff
I
would
gotta
start
get out.
happening.
There's
So
something as an animalistic
Jack
thing
would
about
be
turning
that
your
kind
back
of
to
person.
Yeah.
If the
something
door
like
opens.
that,
Yeah, if the
And
door
when Kindred
opens, you can
Spirits
hear
did
it.
they weren't having anything happen. On the second night, I told them to do that, and that Adam, within like 6 minutes, stuff started happening. He
This
bailed.
carpet's
Wow.
weird. Oh my god, there's
Those
a bunch
guys
of
are
toys.
bailing.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
about-
they do this for a living.
Yeah.
You know. Wow.
The people who do this for a living aren't running out in the middle of the night, dude.
yeah,
Not good.
not good odds. The cellar, we just have permanently sealed shut, which is basically you walk down 2 steps, there's dirt and a wall. And I'm pretty sure it's added way after the fact to put the hot water heater and furnace
Okay.
in. But everybody, when we had it open, everybody would just go like that, look, and be like,
Nothing there.
I mean, yeah, you barely even stand in
She
it.
was wondering about that, and I said, I don't know if there's anything down there.
Yeah.
That would be relevant anyway.
Well, people, it's always flooded and muddy, and so
Oh.
people attract mud, and then we replaced the doors like 7 times this season because people fling them open and they just break. So now I padlocked it because it's flooded and actually lost the key. So now they're just kind of shut forever.
Good.
But I've never ever had it. I've never heard of anyone having anything happen in the attic.
It wouldn't make sense either. Nothing happened
No.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen people right on the barn, don't go in the basement. It's like, why?
You can't go in
You
the
didn't?
basement.
Yeah.
You did go in the basement.
And I've crawled. There's a little crawl hole, and you can kind of crawl underneath the house. And I've scaled the entire underneath of the house. I've even done EVP sessions down there in the dirt, which is like that much room.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I have been down the basement once, and you could hear walking. And like the kitchen, it's like, ooh. Well, I thought somebody walked in doing like day tours and stuff, so I shut it and came in. And I had
Just
2
you?
construction guys with me. I was showing them the basement, and they're like, yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nah.
Any last questions? I guess I shouldn't phrase it that way.
You guys got any questions?
Any?
Answered all of them for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Good luck to you.